You know what Danny just told me
What do you got?
before he left his radio show?
Yes.
We were talking about the Diamondbacks. Did you know that Chase Field, where the Diamondbacks play, is as old as the Moda Center?
I did. I was listening 27 years old,
That blows me away.
and I guess it's a dump.
I don't know why that blows me away. I guess just because
You don't think of the Diamondbacks as being that old?
no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think of the Moda Center as being much older than Chase Field,
Yeah.
but I don't know why I think that.
Well, and the Diamondbacks are like. Have you heard any of their owners' comments, like their
No,
managing partners?
was just informed
Yeah,
by the show previous to ours that
I saw
they're
that.
leveraging their.
I saw that this morning, and it is not subtle. I mean, at all.
Well, they just want to get a new park down there.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we don't want to do this, but I think he said
Do
like,
what?
leave. But he's like, we are aware of other markets. We're not talking to them, but
Yeah, I believe his quote was,
we're aware.
"Yeah, we don't want to leave, and we want to get something done here, but we're pretty sure there are a lot of other places that would love to have a franchise like us."
Well, that's what everybody's talking about now, right? Is all the cities that want
Yeah.
Major League Baseball.
Well-
So that's a good time for them to be like, hey, we'll just go there.
Well, the problem that we're having, again, it's the age-old problem of it used to be stadiums you could build for a couple $100 million, right? And there were a lot of publicly funded ones, but I think it started with like Miami. Remember when the Marlins schnookered the people of Miami-Dade County? Remember they were claiming bankruptcy and they didn't have any money, and then Deadspin leaked their financials and they were making money hand over fist. And by the time they were done paying for that, and the people didn't even vote for it, like the city council just approved it without a vote. The people of Miami-Dade County are on the hook for like $3 billion and no one wants it. And outside of, and like after that, people are having harder times getting stadiums built because they're not $500 million anymore. They're 2.5, 3, 4, $5 billion. And, owners are like, I don't want to pay for this. And if you want me to stay here, you pay for it. And if you don't, well, I'll look somewhere else. And a lot of time it's just posturing, but I mean, you want to think about it, and we've talked about this. One of the most iconic teams with their city is the Detroit Red Wings. It's hockey town, for God's sakes. And the Ilitch family pulled that. They're like, well, we can't imagine Detroit not having the Red Wings. But
I get it. But look at how bad it has to get for a team to move in Major League Baseball. One hadn't moved since the old Rangers.
Yeah.
And then the National. Let's see.
Well, the Expos,
Yeah, maybe it was the Expos then. Yeah. What am I talking about? It was the Rangers before that.
Yeah. And then the Expos moved.
And now the A's. But look at how bad the A's situation had to be before they.
Well, and Tampa's has been a mess for years and years, and that.
But so teams in baseball don't move all that much, but I mean, who knows? Maybe the Diamondbacks would. By the way, this is what I get for trusting Danny Meringue in his facts. The Moda Center is actually 3 years older than Chase Field.
Okay,
so I don't know. Well, I mean, it's close.
It's close.
I mean, 1995 is when the Moda Center was built, and 1998 is when Chase Field was built.
That's horseshoes and hand grenades. You're close. You don't like it, huh?
Not quite as accurate as I would have liked out of Danny Meringue, noted Blazers reporter.
I'm asking this: when you go to Moda, and I know you don't go often,
going there tomorrow night.
Are you?
Or wait, what is tonight?
Wednesday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
Thursday.
Night.
I think they're back.
Bill Burr.
Oh
no! Is that Friday? Thursday?
No, I think it's Thursday.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it at the Moda?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
I
was going to go to the wrong arena.
Do you consider that place a dump? Because I don't.
Moda Center?
Yeah. I don't walk into Moda and think that it seems old and crappy. It's not as nice, obviously, as the new buildings.
Well, I think the definition of dump in today's ballpark lexicon is much different than old dump. Like, we've seen some dumps.
Sure. Look across at the Coliseum.
I think the Superdome is a dump.
Yeah.
Like a true dump.
I also think that Moda facility is fine, but the surrounding area is a dump and not an area that you want to be. And I think that kind of informs your experience.
Here's you said fine, and I agree. The Moda Center is fine. That in today's sports landscape,
not enough.
That's a dump. Fine is a dump. It's just, you can't just be okay. You have to be flashy and offer lots of.
I will be very interested
things
to see what happens. Because we're approaching the 30-year mark with old Moda there, and that's usually around the time where people start rattling sabers. Remember the Rangers, the Texas Rangers, they built a new ballpark after, was it 21 years? It was 19 to 21 years, something like that, and their old ballpark was still being paid off by the public. And then they got $500 million plus from public money to build a new ballpark. And I know Portland, we don't really like voting for sportsy things, but I'll be interested when because Jody ain't doing squat. But when she eventually, years down the road, ditches this team, what happens there? Because you're right in the aspect. If you go around and you look at some of the new arenas, because I'd never walk into Moda and think that it's a bad place. It's fine. It's fine.
Fine
building.
is a good word.
I can't bitch about it.
It's fine.
Yeah, they do a nice job. They've put in some new amenities there. They've got some new restaurants, got some new bars. I think it's not bad. But when you do go to newer buildings,
right,
it is alarming what 30 years will do. But that's like going into a 30-year-old house versus a brand new nice construction house. Like I said, we were just in Detroit, and we went to the Little Caesars Arena, which is where the Wings play, but they share it with the Pistons. Did you walk around that place, and then you walk around Moda, and you're like, oh yeah. You don't realize how crappy your house is until you go to the rich guy's house.
But it's not crappy. It's just not flashy and new.
But that's what I'm saying. You think your house is fine, and then you go down the block and you visit your neighbor's house and you walk inside of it. You're like, damn it, we live in squalor.
So it's really just semantic.
Yeah.
Dump, not a dump, but needs upgrade. Yes.
Yeah.
Or and the Blazers lease. I feel like this comes up every several months. Their lease is up next year, and at the Moda Center, but
they ain't going in.
Well, right. I mean, Hankins is always asked about it. He's the new president, I think, right? And he keeps saying, "Oh, we're not going to negotiate that in the media." That. So this is on their radar.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that it's probably at the top of their
I just think
list.
You have some real balls right now with this team the way it is, and viewership down 50 to 60%, and then be like, "We need more money." Not happening.
Move them to Seattle.
Well, they're getting a team. They're getting their own. You missed that one too. Is
Get rid of
Lewicki
him.
was on KJR up there, and he said he would expect something sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought
they're going to get the Sonics.
It's pretty obvious that the two expansion teams in the NBA are going to be Vegas and Seattle.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Sonics should come back. They got screwed up there.
Yes, they did. They never had a chance.
Clay Bennett screwed them. So they had a chance, but
so I'm assuming they were just playing Climate Pledge, right? I don't.
The Kraken Arena.
Yeah, and I haven't been up there to see a game yet, but people.
Why wouldn't they play there?
People say it's amazing. Oh, I always heard that they wanted to build their own, but I would. I mean,
well, the question is who would own them, and it's probably we talked about this last week, but it's probably the Kraken lady.
Yeah,
would own them.
Yeah, so I assume you just play
that last guy. Who's the last guy that tried to get the Kings there? He's out of the picture. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
Hansen.
That. Is that what his name was? I forget.
Well, anyway.
There you go.
There you go.
So there's expansion and movie news and all of that. All to say the Moda Center, it's fine.
It's fine. I tell you what, that building doesn't get me to a game.
No, it doesn't.
And a nice ballpark would.
Yeah, baseball stadiums are different. You sit outside, sunny and all that, but
Well, I'll just put it this way: the venue. It doesn't matter what sport. The venue does matter to me.
Sure.
Because I don't go to a lot of live sports, so the venue is that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter NBA, baseball. I mean, if you gave me hockey tickets, I'm not interested in going to hockey. But
at the Climate Pledge,
if you said, "Hey, Rob, this arena you're gonna love it. It's fantastic,"
Yeah.
that might nudge me over the.
Yeah. Well, the Vancouver Ford text line right here. Climate Pledge is the best arena experience I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. I've heard nothing but
out of how many arena experiences has that person?
That I don't know, but I have heard from a dozen people that have gone up there and seen a game or a concert, and they say it is an amazing place.